Hi everyone, welcome to day 6 of my 12 days of Christmas. I hope you guys all had a nice Thanksgiving. I had a very wonderful Thanksgiving. I did the entertaining, so I was busy all night yesterday, or all day yesterday, and pretty much into the evening. Hopefully you guys caught my video. Let me grab my project real quick. In case you guys were busy as well, my project yesterday was it's a Starbucks coffee pouch, and it holds 3 packages of the Via coffee, and this one is their Christmas blend, but they have different ones. So this was yesterday's project. You can always catch my videos on my YouTube channel as well. And then the day before was the Grinch bag. So hopefully you guys seen my Grinch bag. That just happened to pop up with my other one. So today's project is going to be this Tealight. I'm calling it a tent card because it reminds me of a tent, and it's got a tea light. I got these tea lights at Walmart, a pack of 6 for under $5. So they were less than $1 a piece. So this is going to be our card. Here's our little tea light. I might as well pull it out now. And this is another one that I had made with, different pattern paper. And then for the lights, I kind of crisscrossed them and I colored them in instead of using the gold. So we're going to use the gold. So let's get started. In today's email, I did send out all of my PDFs for the first 5 days. And then I've been posting them here on my Facebook page. So hopefully you get them. If you guys are having an issue getting them, just let me know and I can get them to you. So our piece of Poppy Parade is going to be 4 inches by 11. So we already know our cardstock is 11 the long way. And we're going to score it at 3.5. Get that blade out of the way. Almost was ready to cut it. And 7. I was going to grab the cutting blade again. All right, so I'm going to cut some of the designer series paper. We're using the Snowy Scenes designer series paper. So our top piece is going to be 3 3/4. 3 3/4 by 3 1/4. And then our bottom piece is, I'm going to use this kind of plaid, and it's going to be 3 3/4. 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. 3 3/4. All right, so those are pieces of designer series paper, and we're going to use the graceful greenery vellum. So this piece is going to be 3.5 by 2 1/4. That's pretty much 2 1/4 right there. Okay, and I think that's it for now. So let's see. Let's go ahead. This is going to be the bottom is the bigger section. This part where we're going to cut out the tree or be part of our tent, I guess, is a smaller section. So we're going to glue this piece on the designer series paper. I've been using the Snowy Scenes designer series paper for a lot of projects. A lot of projects. And I'm liking the colors that you can use with it. So we're going to be using the Merriest trees stamp set and dies. This is like the medium-sized tree. And we're going to go ahead and die cut that. And we're going to die cut it right through both layers of cardstock. So we kind of want to put it down some and want to make sure that's straight. I'm going to put a piece of tape though, because my die has been moving and my tree looks a little crooked when I get done with it. So we're going to cut that. And then we're going to save this because we're going to use this. Get that out of the way. Get this back out of the way. And we're going to do some heat embossing. Okay, so this is what our looks like right now. But we're going to do some heat embossing first. And then we'll add these other pieces of paper. Get all this stuff out of the way. And I'm going to emboss on this as well. So I'm going to use my embossing buddy. Ooh, my thing's coming out like a lot. And the embossing buddy helps from your embossing powder to not go where it shouldn't go, I guess. So it doesn't get all over. It's just going to get where you stamp. That's the whole idea of it. So my poor Versamark stamp pad looks horrible. But we're going to stamp that. And then I'm going to use my little tweezers right here at the corner. Move this out of the way. Well, this is all my embossing buddy. I don't know why he's so spreading so much powder. And I added a lot. And there's what we want. We wish you a Merry Christmas. It's a little bit, let's see if I could get my W back there. There was just a little bit of embossing powder I wanted to get out of my embossing buddy. Should have took care of all that. I don't know, maybe something's wrong with it. That's why it's coming out all over. Okay, so now we'll heat emboss. Did everybody have a good Thanksgiving? I know I already asked you. And I wanted to ask, what's your favorite side dish at Thanksgiving? Some people, they don't do turkey. They don't like turkey. Probably the only one time of year that I cook a full turkey. We'll eat turkey, ground turkey during the year. Okay, and then now we're going to stamp our sentiment and emboss that since I have the embosser out. And we'll just stamp to you and yours. Okay. And bring this back over here. I don't know why my embossing buddy really is... The powder's coming out. When I was using it earlier too, my hands were all full of powder. My hands are all white. So we'll emboss this. That one embossed really quick. Okay. So I'm going to get this stuff out of the way so that I don't spill it, because with my luck, I'll spill it. And I don't know, it's kind of bothering me that there's all that powder on it. But maybe the more I work with it, the more better it'll be. Okay, so now we're gonna, we cut our piece of designer series paper, and we're gonna add some glue dots to it so that, because with vellum, it's really hard to find an adhesive that does not show through. And I'll show you in a minute my glue dots on my finger. Where on my original, I used liquid glue, and you could see my lines from the glue, and it doesn't look good, and then you can't cover it up because then your tree won't light up. So we're using glue dots because they're kind of the most discreet. And so I just put 6. And we're just going to stick that right on there like so. So see how you still see the little dots, but they're not as, let me show you. Well, this one I use dots. This one, I have so many of these I made. This is my original, but see the glue? So I think the dots look better. I have this one over here twinkling with the lights still. Okay, so now we can go ahead and add this bottom piece. This was the 3 3/4 by 3 3/4 that we had already cut. And you can choose any pattern you want. I like this kind of plaid-ish. I like anything plaid. Or look, I have my flannel on today. It's a little bit cold here today. It was actually cold yesterday. It started to get really cold yesterday, last night. Uh-oh, what did I do? I think my paper was a little bit too big. I want to burnish this line. And let's burnish this line so then our tent stands up very well. But now what we're going to do is we are going to stamp our little tree trunk. I don't want the full, we're not going to, well, should reword that. We're going to stamp the full tree trunk. We're going to die cut the full tree trunk. And then, but we're only going to use it, only part of it's going to show. So let me get the die cutting machine again. And we're going to cut this one out with our banner die. Uh-oh. This one with our banner, to you and yours. I'm going to put a piece of tape on it. Then here's our tree trunk, stump, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to grab a piece of tape for that as well. I need to replace my pads. And I have them. I just haven't pulled them out and changed them. Funny how we do that. And then, oh look, I had a piece of tape here. We're going to cut out, these are the tree lights. And we're going to cut out the star. Okay, I think those are all of our die cut pieces we need. And there's the star. There's some of the lights. Here's our trunk. That. Oh, and our banner. Look, our banner stuck to the thing because the tape got a hold of it. Okay. So, here's our stump, our star. These are all of our lights. Let me turn them over. And turn them over. Let me get my silicone mat. We're going to glue this tree trunk. So this part's actually the bottom, but I turned it and used this way, so it's just a straight edge. So we're just going to use a little bit of glue. And like I said, we're going to cover most of it because we just want that little tiny bit. And then we're going to put some glue here for our star. You notice I constantly put the lid back on my glue right away. All right, so we'll move this aside, let it dry. Get these dies, and now we're going to put our lights on our tree. I'm going to put that there so it's kind of hold it. I only used 4 on my original, but we can, should we like zigzag them like I did with the these things are so tiny, and they, for me, they seem to stick to, see, they're sticking to my hand. I don't know. I don't have glue on them that I can think of. We can zigzag them like I did with the colored ones. The other ones, I kind of put them straight, but these ones we could zigzag and we could add more. Shall we do that? Okay, so let's go. Well, we'll use all 5. I didn't use all 5 the first time, or on my original. So here's the longest ones. See, now I'm trying not to get the glue on me. A dot here and a dot here. We'll go across this way. These are gonna hang over a little bit. This brush was the first thing the first thing in sight to grab, so I grabbed it. Because I'm trying not to get glue on me. What? Ah! As I've told you guys plenty of times, me and liquid glue, and actually this is what I should be doing, is putting these on top of each other. We'll put this one over here like so. Yeah, me and liquid glue have that love-hate relationship. I think this is what I did on my colored ones. I lined them up on each other. This one, I might miss the glue. And let's do our little tiny one. I don't know if this one's gonna reach. Where's my take your pick tool? Should be using this instead of my fingers that have glue. This one will just have to go like so. There. Almost. We almost made a match. But there's our tree. And these you could trim off if you think that they look funny. Like I said, I used 4 because I put mine straight across. But we decided to do this one different. So, you know what? I'm going to snip this one. Just that one. So it's not like hanging off. And this other one is probably going to get covered up by our tree. So now that we have our tree done, we'll get some dimensionals. And we will add our tree. Like so. And see, that covers up that little section there. So now what I did is I went, let's get some mini dimensionals before I get ahead of myself. Put a couple mini dimensionals. You can see I still have glue because things are sticking to me. And I want to say I went about an inch up maybe. So I just kind of seen where I wanted to put my tent. And then I said, okay, that's where I'll put my banner. There's no right or wrong way. So your banner's going to hold it. And where are my peppermints? They're in here. And I just added a little peppermint on each side. And then that was it. Almost. We gotta add our piece of basic white cardstock to the inside because you want to be able to write a message to your recipient. So that piece is going to be 3.5 by 2.5. So let's go 2.5 by 3.5. And we'll just adhere that on the inside. And then you can write your little message on it, or you can use another stamp and stamp something inside of it. And this this card, it'll fold so that you can mail it, but you're just not going to be able to put a Tealight. So if you're giving it, wow, that moved. So if you're giving it to a neighbor, you could give them the Tealight. You don't have to. This glue is like moving. There you go. Got a little bit of glue there, but where's my little handy dandy eraser? Remember the other day I was telling you guys about this eraser? I keep forgetting to look on Amazon to see if they have them, because I think I need more. And I think they make great gifts for any crafter. So there's our card. I think we are all done. I have to look at my other one. So you just put your tea light in it. And of course I have to hold the tea light to show you. I should show you this way, because I think the other way is upside down. And there's your little sparkly tree. So thank you guys for joining me. Be sure and join me tomorrow. Tomorrow I have an explosion box that has a treat in it. Let's look, let me grab my other one with the colored lights. I don't know if you guys could see it the way the camera is, but here's the, hold it and then with the colored lights. You know, obviously it has to be a little bit darker. It has to be darker for this to really stand out, but there's my cards. I hope you guys like it. And like I said, be sure and join me tomorrow, because I have an explosion box, I believe, is tomorrow's project. You guys take care. Bye.